Fala pessoal, sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um podcast do AV na Prática, o canal que simplifica o AV. Hoje eu estou aqui com dois convidados muito legais. Eu estou com o Arthur, da NIVEO, e também o Saldanha, das RS. Eles vieram falar aqui um pouquinho sobre essa parceria das RS, né, com a NIVEO. A gente vai falar um pouquinho aí sobre o dia a dia, né, que o integrador sofre instalando a parte de rede. A gente vai falar um pouquinho sobre como o AV integra a TI, né? E eu vou dar agora a palavra para eles se apresentarem um pouquinho e depois a gente começa essa conversa aqui, beleza? Ah, importante, né? Como o Arthur não fala português ainda, né? A gente vai fazer essa conversa aqui em inglês, né? A gente vai ter aqui as legendas, mas fiquem tranquilos aí que vocês vão conseguir entender tudo que a gente está falando. So, guys, thank you for coming. I would like first just to ask you guys to introduce yourselves so the people that are watching us can know a little bit about yourselves, and then we can start this conversation, okay?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having us, and
Sure.
it's a great pleasure to be at your podcast, and it's a great opportunity also to explain how we can make AV more practical for the integrator. So I am Arthur, and I'm one of the founders of NIVEO. I'm in the AV industry for 18 years now, and literally build up a company from scratch for pure AV purposes. So yeah, with great pleasure.
Okay. Pleasure is mine. And Saldanha?
Thank you, Bruno. I love what you are doing, man, because I've been in this market for 17 years. My name is Saldanha. I'm responsible for sales and operations in ZRS, distribution company. And it's very nice that you can share all this content, all this conversation with the guys to know a little bit about AV. AV is growing a lot, more
Yeah,
than
it
6% a year.
Yeah.
So the people need to understand all the changes. That's why NIVEO is here with us.
Great, guys, great. So let's first talk about how it came to be this partnership. I don't know because ZRS, I think it's the first time that you are distributing switches, right?
Yes.
So let me hear about this.
Okay.
And why now, right?
ZRS is one-stop shop. So
Mm,
we decide to have brands that can accommodate this. So we have from cabling to LED panels, and was missing something because today 90% of the projects are networking.
Yeah.
So we have the products and was missing the brain. The brain is switch. So we start talking to Arthur a year ago. So this alliance, I don't say partnership, this alliance, because it's more than a partnership, started a year ago, and we are developing. And now we're gonna have stock in Brazil, we're gonna have support in Brazil, and we're gonna have our showroom with all the products with switches.
Right.
So,
And for you, Arthur, how it went? When did you meet the guys?
So trade shows are always a great moment to meet people,
Yeah.
and we were very lucky to be introduced to the ZRS team. And for us as a company, we want to only work with select channel and with value-added distributors. So we want to work with a distribution channel that actually helps the integrator be successful.
Yeah.
And that means that we're not like your average IT brand that is literally sold everywhere, and then the integrator can secretly buy it cheaper on Amazon. So we want to make sure that we have a partner that adds value to those integrations.
Yeah,
And
and this is a real problem, right? To buy things on the Amazon or on Mercado Livre here in
Mercado
Brazil.
Livre.
And how are you thinking strategy here in Brazil, and how the integrators with ZRS are going to be able to buy from you guys? How is it going to be? Because there are many integrators here in Brazil, not only on corporate but also residential, right?
Residential.
yeah, well, luckily we cater for both. And for us, it's important that the availability on the product is through our distributor. we don't want to be a brand that is sold everywhere for several reasons. One, it is a niche brand where where we need to support the integrator with the equipment that they install. So we have a bunch of engineers that are actually AV engineers rather than IT engineers.
Yeah, that's good.
Crestron certified programmers, BIAM certified people, QSC, and go on and go on. And we also have a big lab in California with all third-party equipment where we can replicate situations. Our engineers know what happens in the field as an AV integrator, not as an IT installer.
Right.
And I think that's a big difference, and that's a philosophy which we share with ZRS. And for that reason, I think it's a perfect partnership.
In our case, it's also good because we only work with brands that we can be exclusive. So we can invest on the brand like we are doing now. We are developing the biggest showroom, the AV showroom in Latin America. It's 1,200 square meters with all the solutions. So the integrator will be able to go there, see working, to send his client over there and see how it's working in the real life. It's not only, so this is really cool. That's why when we started talking to Arthur and say, hey, this is a very good company. Let's work with them. Let's invest. And we are doing. We have stock in Brazil now. We have many products, and it's going to grow. We understood that if the integrator needs other products like UPS, we are going to add to our portfolio as well.
Yeah,
They have other products than switches. Is important to mention.
Yeah, it's cool for you guys to mention about the showroom, because I mean the problem, I do also have an integration company, so the problem is always to know who sells what here in Brazil, because in Brazil we don't have a market grown as in Europe or in United States. So someday you just discover that this distributor sells this brand. So it's nice to have, because you guys are doing lots of events, right?
Yes.
So
we just have now a platform that we can make. Every week we are doing some content. So to expose all the brands that we have 15 brands now. So these 15 brands, we are working with them, and we have now magazine. We have a printed magazine that nobody is using anymore, and we are against the marketing.
yeah,
Because we understand that the people want to have that in hands. So we are doing this, and we have the Casa Conteúdo with every month we're gonna have an event. In this event, we are inviting the people to see their working. There are some people making speeches, and that's the idea. Like you are doing here, we need to share the knowledge. The knowledge is on the side. We need to share this. The people need to understand better, because we know that the level of the projects now in Brazil is not so good.
yeah,
The level of installation is not good. So this is our purpose to change this. On the next 3 or 4 years, we need to change this. Train people. The other thing that's important to know, we are creating for April next month, we should have a CTI, a place to train the people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's as we're gonna train for all the brands that we have. So the pre-sales guys will go there. We stay for 2 or 3 days, training for the brands.
For instance, and you have NIVEO switches there, so we can learn how to.
Sure, that's the idea. Let's connect. Let's see what's
great.
going on. Let's see how it's working with NIVEO and without NIVEO, so you can see the
Yeah.
difference.
This is good. This is good because I mean, as we were talking about earlier, the problem is the guys from EV right now, they either come from IT, okay, now, and they know something about network, not some specifics, but they know, and some are from AV production. So, or they come from, I mean, many other places, but usually they're not AV prepared. And when it comes on networking, it's always a pain to configure the switch. When it comes to I mean, I know because I've suffered this in the field. I know. So this is really cool, guys, what you're doing, because I mean, I haven't seen this in the market, so it's really good. And Arthur, as Saldanha said, he said that the projects here in Brazil, the level of projects are not so good, and I know they aren't. And how do you see this? I mean, what is the difference between the Brazilian type of project that you've been seeing or hearing about, and what goes on in Europe or United States, for instance?
Well, I would not go that far to discredit the level of professionality of the integrators in Brazil, for the simple reason that we see in other countries also integrators mess up a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's
I feel a bit more,
Yeah, we feel
more
better.
comfortable.
so we are in an industry where we have extremely passionate people. We have
Yeah.
people who started big companies literally out of their garage.
Yeah.
And there are several examples out there if you go to a trade show where you see the company where they started soldering a speaker in a garage because they thought they could do it better than what was on the market.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. I mean, and in the evenings they go to a bar and they play guitar. That's what fun industry we're in.
Yeah, it is.
But the network and everything now goes over a network
Yeah.
is a bit of a black box. And
Mhm.
to educate yourself on networking can be a bit of a scary thing. And I know in IT, if someone does a CCNA program, they are educating themselves over an entire year to get the knowledge of what networking is about. Luckily, with what we have to do in our AV industry, is basically a limited subset of protocols that are in networking.
Mm.
And what we do, whether it's transporting audio or transporting video, it's all multicasting. So there is a real narrow scope in what an AV engineer should know about networking. And in our idea is we need to simplify it by standardization. So very simple choices on how to design a network, how to configure a network. And then we need to educate on those specific tasks that need to be performed to get a video signal from A to B. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So that's what we're advocating, and that's what we're investing in as well.
And about protocols, I've seen something really nice in your site, which is a white paper on the common protocols in AV. And how did this idea come? Because I found it so cool. It's so nice to see someone like caring about this. I mean, what's different in Dante, CobraNet, SDVOE? So this is something that always bugged me because I never knew how to actually properly know which functionality of the switch or which configuration setting of the switch I should put on or off. And this is how this idea come to your head.
So we talk a lot with integrators all over the world. And a lot of integrators literally do not see the forest for the trees. It's complex. If you open the interface of a switch, the amount of functionality that you see is overwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
And it is basically debunking the complexity of it by just pinpointing that what we do with the protocols ranging from Dante, AES67, video over IP in all the flavors, and ST2110 and so on. These protocols cover everything, and the majority is simply based on multicasting settings. So one of the things that we make life easier is that in our switches, all these settings are already set for standard. So if you unbox it and most of the applications in AV, you can simply plug it in and it does the job.
And that's the secret. We've been talking about this, listening to the client, listening to the end user. We don't see this very often.
Yeah.
That's the point. We are, as a distributor, we are different. Why is that? Because we go to the client, like he just mentioned.
Yeah.
He goes there, he listens, he takes notes. Hey, let's change this to be differential. What we see today is everything on the same level.
Yeah.
They care about pricing only.
Yeah.
Let's purchase and sell only price. We need to sell differentiation.
And Brazil is a price-based market, right? I think you've already know this, right? And how are you trying to market this? Because I mean, Brazilians usually won't go over too much to buy anything. I mean, not related to AV directly. Like, okay, so this control, I will pay a little bit more, but a switch, I can buy this from I don't know, $199 in Amazon. So, how do you plan on putting the seed of a good product, a product made for integrators in their heads here in Brazil?
So you need to understand where we come from in the industry, and the industry has a history of having point-to-point connections, basically matrix switchers. Matrix switcher is nothing but a big black box that does a lot of point-to-point connections,
Yeah.
and that has now, apart from a few specifics, has been replaced by a network, and the network does many-to-many connections.
Yeah.
Makes it more flexible and more scalable and enormously less expensive. But the intelligence of the entire setup is not in your endpoint and not in your encoder or decoder. That's the simple stuff.
Yeah.
It is how you transport it from A to B. The intelligence is in the switch. So that's the most critical part of your integration. And let's say if you have a design with 24 endpoints, 12 encoders, 12 decoders. If one of those encoders fails, you lost one source.
Yeah.
If the switch fails, you lose the entire setup.
That's right.
So try to save $100 on a switch on maybe a $25,000 setup might not be the wisest thing to do.
Yeah.
Go for the one that supports, that is designed for that purpose, that supports that, and also has a team to back it up.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what I think, because the network switch used to be like an accessory to the EV setup, and now it's the heart, it's the brain, it's the matrix, it's the matrix itself, right?
But very unloved.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, you're here to change this, right? But
Correct.
And you spoke about support. And support is a big issue in Brazil for many reasons. Well, first of all, many of the brands that we use here in Brazil are not, Brazilian based. They all come from Europe, come from the United States. As may know, many Brazilians don't speak English, so it's difficult to have support. And so how we're dealing with this nowadays with NIVEO, because I mean, switches are difficult, and support is also difficult for Brazilians because they don't speak English. So how do we solve this here in Brazil?
So the first line of defense, of course, is CRS as our representative, and also supporting and adding value to those integrations.
Yeah.
And they can scale up very quickly to our support team in the US, where there is a complete lab of equipment ranging from Wirestorm equipment to Crestron equipment to QSC. It's all there to replicate situations and to help out customers.
I see.
It's really cool because you can go, if we don't have the answer here, the support in US is very fast. So we had an experience 2 weeks ago that the client had some doubts. We couldn't solve, we just call, and 30 minutes later it was fixed.
Yeah.
Because many times the problem is that the people don't read manuals.
They don't.
That's the point.
They don't.
So, but we have to read it.
Yeah.
So we have some training, and NIVEO is training our guys over there. So not only technical guys. I am a sales guy. I'm being trained as well to be technical, because this is the brain. If this fails, everything goes wrong. So we need to understand this. So this is another thing that we need to change. The people in sales only think that they need to know about the cost of the products and some benefits. Wrong.
Yeah.
You need to understand how to do it. You need to go there and make it turn on, turn off.
Yeah, because sometimes you can, for instance, you have lots of switches in your product line. So sometimes you're thinking about a 24 port switch, but maybe for this project, if you do some tweaks, you can go with a 16, which is like a sales-wise choice, but also technical-wise choice, because you know what you're doing. because okay, you're thinking about this, but maybe if you do this, you can lose some ports and just have a 16 port switch, for instance, and then you can it's a cheaper project. You can win this project and also solve your problem. So yeah, this is it's well.
And
it-
you know,
it is
Bruno, it's
amazing.
very important thing to mention here, that we are always learning, and we learn that sometimes the integrator doesn't know what he wants because the end user doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah.
So we are teaching them how to do it.
Yeah.
So what we did, we prepared a spreadsheet with many questions. Sometimes back then they don't like, but they need to answer, because if they give us the full information, because if they don't know, they have to ask the end user. Sometimes they are afraid of asking.
Yeah.
They need to ask, because if it don't come to us with the right questions, and we don't do the right project. So I believe that the problem is in the beginning, in the origin of everything. If the end user is being trained and they know about AV a little bit, they know what to ask.
Yeah.
And if they know what to ask, we know how to do the project, and then everything's going to be easier.
Well, and on top of that, if the integrator is capable of asking the right questions to the end user also understands why certain design changes have to be made
Yeah.
in order to be successful and
Yeah.
deliver the right project.
Yeah.
Because
And-
sometimes what they think is not the right thing, because what
Yeah.
they think maybe is impossible to do it. And the integrator sometimes is afraid to tell you, hey, you cannot do this. No, let's do it. And it's not possible. And so the responsibility comes to the distributor or the
manufacturer.
manufacturer.
Yeah.
It is
yeah.
not right.
Yeah, it's not. And one thing that you said, Arthur, is about US. So you have some guys in US, but you're in Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
How does it work?
So we are quite a flexible company with people. We have people in Mumbai for support. We have people in Europe for support.
Wow.
And we have people in the US. And we have some integrators that do global projects.
And now a guy in Colombia as well.
And a guy in Colombia, that's
Yeah.
correct. So
All over the place.
yeah,
All over the
so,
place.
one of the things that the COVID thing brought is that you don't have to be all in the same office to
Yeah.
perform a task. And with customers all over the world, it's not necessary either. So we have basically a team worldwide.
I see. And so you have Mumbai, Colombia, and US. So all of them are support, or you have what are you doing in those places?
Support, sales support, design support, but also technical development. So if we have meetings and get feedback from customers, they can also translate it into the technicals that are needed in devices.
I see. So you said about a test lab that you have?
Yeah. So one of the most crucial things is doing interop testing with other manufacturers. So all the big brands in the industry we are in contact with, we send equipment to their team so they can verify products, and they send their equipment to our team. And then we can both not only verify if it really works well, but we can also, on top of that, support afterwards, because we understand what the whole situation is, not just the switch part.
Okay.
So I can give you an example of what happened. We had a failure in the network of a significant design. It was some 200 devices.
Wow.
And our engineers logged into the systems to see what was going wrong, because on paper it all should have worked well.
Yeah.
And it appeared that there was one audio system in there that had old firmware, really old firmware, and was literally blocking the entire network.
Wow.
So,
One equipment.
it was just one single device that was taken
Out of 200. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
out of the warehouse. And lucky enough, our engineers were able to drill down and see where the packet losses were and what happened on the network. And with their AV knowledge, they were also capable of seeing, hey, this device has to be updated, and that solved the issue.
Wow.
So they go beyond the network.
I see. So
Tell him about the microphone problem that you found. You just mentioned to me.
So when Shure came out with their first MXA 910s, the ceiling microphones, on their prospectus it said that it had a power utilization of 10 watts. So we had a couple of boardroom installations done by one of our integrators, and they had a nice 8-port switch, well within the power budget needed for the project. And then the project went live, and they noticed that devices were dropping off. So they said, your switch isn't doing what it should. So our engineers logged into the switch, looked at what happened on the power utilization, and it appeared that those ceiling microphones were actually closer to 30 watts when they're in use.
Wow, 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, so in idle mode, when they're not utilized and you turn them on, they just consume 10 watts. But when they're in full operation, boost to 28 plus.
Wow.
So that was quite a thing. And then you run out of your power budget.
Yeah, of course.
Interesting, because you make a plan and the
Yeah.
plan is not going right because of the manufacturer sometimes.
Yeah.
Then the manufacturer changed the manual. Now it's 30. So
So that's cool. So you're the reason why they changed their manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Cool. And so the test lab is also for this, right? Because you test many equipment, so you can
Correct.
give feedback for them. And what are you testing with right now? Equipments, brands?
So we are now working with equipment from Lightware, for instance. We do a lot more SDVOE testing. SDVOE has just introduced a new chipset that basically allows for multiple speeds in the same network, called FlexLink. And we want to make sure that we can support that on all levels.
I see.
So we've added 2.5 gig switches to our line, but also tested with the 10 gig switches that we already have in there.
So and you test also besides SDVOE, Dante, Kubernetes, and whatever.
Yeah, that's we all do that and have done that, and certainly new chipsets come out, and then suddenly Dante has some new features, and it's good that we verify that and that we are familiar with what happens there.
Yeah. So you told us some cases here, but one thing that I really like to ask anybody actually is, what was the most challenging project that you have in NIVEO?
So a challenge can be a couple of things. We've done very large projects, and then our investment is before the project goes in. We don't want we want as little support to be given as possible, because most of the support that you give can be avoided by simple doing proper design, going through the standardization and follow design rules, and then having the right products for that support.
Reading the manual.
Yeah.
Really?
So we very happily and free of charge do full designs for networks.
All right.
And we've recently finished with one of our partners a project for a theater in Poland, where we had a mix of audio and video, 1,800 endpoints in one network.
1,800.
So I mean,
amazing.
that's those are really significant projects.
Wow.
And we are seeing more of these, and it's not so much a challenge if you keep on top of it before you execute the project.
I see. But doesn't it just gets full for your team? Because I mean, this project must be huge, and also I can think that many integrators come with many projects every day. So how do you work with this, and how fast it is usually?
So usually, depending on the complexity, but usually we do design services within 1 or 2 business days.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
It's really fast.
Yes, and configuration services, that's also 1 or 2 business days in average.
Oh, so but nowadays you get it doesn't matter how many. I mean, it does matter, of course, but you can get usually all the things that comes to you, you can handle it. You don't have any. Okay.
We have a very robust team, and it also again pays off to have the right partners working with you. So that's as I said, that's one of the reasons we really enjoy partnering up with CRS, is because they have also a team that understands that and shares that philosophy.
I see. I see. And speaking about ZRS, because one of the main issues also in Brazil here is to have this in stock, and also, I mean, the support we spoke about, but to have this product here in Brazil, to be available in Brazil, and even if it isn't, how long it takes to come to the integrator? I mean, from the day that they order.
That's a good question. Well, first of all, we are talking to the dealers, and we have one good experience yesterday. We had a meeting, and we were not adding to the line the business and the
UPS?
the
The enterprise, yeah.
The enterprise. They have two kinds of switches: the business and enterprise. Enterprise, the cost is higher, is to compete with Cisco and others. But I was talking to this dealer. He said, "No, I need this because I need 10 years warranty." I said, "Oh, it's okay. Let's do it. Let's put it on stock. If there is a demand, let's do it." So once again, we need to talk. I cannot do it like I know everything and I get the list. This is the ones I am going to sell. No, we brought many, so we have in stock, and we are going to discuss with the integrators. Do you like this? No, I don't like. So take it off. I like this. Let's give them a better or a higher quantity in stock. But we had an experience a month ago with a big integrator in Brazil. There was a project missing a switch. Someone made a mistake over there. Didn't put the PO, and they need in 20 days. And we brought in 20 days by
20 days?
FedEx.
Wow.
The cost was very high.
Yeah.
They know about that, but
sometimes
was their mistake.
Yeah.
They say, "Hey, I can bring in 20 days. Do you
But
pay the price?"
Yeah.
Yes, I paid. We brought.
Yeah, sometimes the important thing for us integrators is just to have the equipment in time, because I mean, it's our client in the end, right? If we miss in this, I mean, he did a mistake, as I did many times.
Yeah.
So I know how it is. So, but the thing is, it's always so hard when you do a mistake and it takes days to come a new equipment, because we're in Brazil, we don't, I mean, it's not as easy. We have, well, the price is not, the taxes are really high, the logistics, I mean, it's so difficult. So I mean, sometimes we have to pay the price, but just to have the option to pay the price is good enough, because you just want to save this project. You just want
And
to.
the best thing was to listen from the CEO of the company. Said, "Hey, you did a good job, and can you do it again if I need it?" Yes.
Yeah.
"Oh, I need to send some equipment to Uruguay. Can you do it?" "Yes, we can." Of course, maybe you can fail sometimes, but the idea is that our logistics is gonna be a differential.
Yeah.
Once again, distributor is not only buying and purchasing. We need to have service.
Yeah, if you only buy and purchase, I mean, sometimes you're just going to be substituted for another distributor, right? Also, partnership for us is really good, because we always choose the ones that will be in the battles with us, because it's so difficult to have the client pressuring us, because we're in the field, right? I know many people that are watching here, they know this. They're being pressured every day.
Yeah.
And we know that you guys aren't being pressured by them. So I mean, unless we tell you guys, you will never know. So to have a support, to have something coming in 20 days, or having this in stock, so it's really, really good to know. And let's talk about products, because you have many products here with us. So I just want to know what you brought us, so we know a little bit.
So this is a good cross section of what we do, but as we had a discussion yesterday with one of the integrators, UPSs might be a good addition to that equation as well, which are not shown here. But so in brief, we have wireless equipment. This is all Wi-Fi 6E.
This one?
Yeah, that's a Wi-Fi 6E access point, and with 2.5 gig network port, so we can really transmit high-speed network to that access point. We have an outdoor version of it as well. and that's
Yeah.
quite a
Yeah.
hefty device.
Yeah.
It comes even with external antennas.
Wow.
And
That's a big antenna, right?
according to Arthur, this antenna you can boost all the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, right?
It really has a long range when
Wow.
it's transmitting with those antennas on that.
That's huge. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, it serves a purpose, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, probably this is, I don't know if you have really big companies using this or really big houses using this. I mean, what is the market for this? Because I don't do this much outdoorsy things, so I don't know much about this.
It's quite diverse, but we see it indeed with luxury houses where there are substantial grounds around the house.
Yeah.
But we also see campus companies that have campuses
Yeah.
or higher ed universities. Yeah.
Maybe theater.
Yeah.
Or
Big
marinas.
places.
That's also a big thing.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Because in Brazil, I don't think we have this market. I mean, campuses. A company having campuses. Maybe those logistics companies, right? Maybe they have a really big place.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
so the houses, I know they have. I mean, they
yeah.
have really big houses around here. I'm not in the residential market, so I don't know how big they are, but I know that the
No, we
integrators tell us.
Yeah, and we work with residential and corporate, so we know especially the luxury ones. So we have houses that you never imagine how big they are, and maybe there are only 2 or 3 people in the family with 10 rooms.
Yeah.
So why is that? But they have.
You almost need those golf carts to go from one place to
Yes,
another,
yeah.
right?
So
No, sorry.
yeah, but that's the wireless equipment. For us, by far the largest category are the switches.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, you've seen the range.
Yeah.
It's quite a substantial range. We had integrators not knowing what to choose because it was such a long list. So we, on his recommendation, we've put it in a matrix where you simply by protocol can choose which switch you want to have.
Yeah, this is actually really cool. I was seeing this today because it's so nice to have something so organized. I mean, your website is so simple to use because whenever you go to a product, you can go to the drivers and firmwares place, and also you have the switch selector, which is like one of the first sections that you go. So it's so cool, and you can see the compatibility, the number of ports, and so on. So
and the power.
Yeah. This is really important because sometimes you have to go deep in the data sheet and to just find this information. It's so difficult. So to have this in a matrix with all the products is amazing. So congratulations for this.
Well, thank you very much. It's we only executed it. It was the idea of an integrator. And
really?
Yeah. So we not only listen to the integrator, we do something with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
And I think that's the main part of it because we know the pain we feel, right? I mean, whenever I have to see one functionality or one spec, I need to go deep in the data. So you enter the site and then you go to the support site and then you go over to the search bar and you try to search. The search doesn't work, and then you know what I'm talking about, right? And you go to the search bar, it doesn't work. So you have to go equipment by equipment to see which one is ours, and sometimes you have those subcategories. Oh my god, hell.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. So to have this in the first page, like in the first, and I think it's like something like tools. I don't remember. It's like products, and then you have the switch selector and some other tools that you have. Also, you have white paper. So this is
and a couple of guides on how to configure stuff.
And also it's very nice because we had a project like this week, and the guy had a Cisco switch. So I just call in, hey, what is the one? So we have to products to compare with any brand, and it's very, very fast.
Yeah.
So we can just go to just switch selector. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. Go there, and you can be very relaxing. It's gonna work.
Yeah. So we've tried to make that a bit easier for the integrator. But so we have a big range of switches running from 8 ports to 52 ports. We have rear-facing switches for pure AV racks where you patch at the back of the rack. Makes life a bit easier.
Yeah. This is something that I was seeing in your website. So cool because you don't have those many cables coming over the rack.
Running
Come in
from
the
back,
front,
and often those racks are crowded.
Yeah.
So using one U of rack space just to get the cables from back to front,
Yeah.
it's messy. So
Yeah, it is.
it's avoidable.
Yeah.
And then we have that on the 1 gig, but we also have that on the 10 gig section, where we range up to 52 ports. And we can support really large designs, as we recently did in Poland.
Yeah, 1800. It's not an
Yeah.
easy task. So I know what you mean.
And then we have some specialized products like
and
this
what is
device.
this? Yes.
So this is
Why is it special?
this is an AVB switch,
Oh, okay.
and it supports AVB and Milan,
Oh.
and it is already 100% pre-configured. And you don't need to get licenses or upload new firmware.
Oh, sorry.
Out of the box, it is already set for this. And that makes life easier for the integrator.
Yeah.
And because we have a lot of customers that install it in live event situations, we also wanted to create a device that is a bit more sturdy. So it can take a beating, and it can also have higher tolerances for humidity and for temperature. So it's full industrial specification.
It looks like it's industrial. So it's
Yes, you
really
can run
cool.
your car over it and it will still transmit.
Really cool.
So,
really
yeah.
cool. Really
So and yeah, that's of course on our website and on the ZRS website, you can find more products and more details on the products as well. But next to that we have a range of power products like UPSs.
Oh, yeah.
That support AV integration.
Why UPSs? I mean, I know why UPSs. I mean, I know I need them, but why did you go into the UPS market?
It's literally a request from integrators. That's saying that they don't have really good alternatives,
Yeah.
and it's the same. It's an unloved device. So because it's unloved, people try to get the cheapest.
Yeah. That's exactly it. I mean, you captured the feeling. It's exactly it.
But the reality is that we transmit audio, and with audio, you want to have clean power. So you want to have online double conversion UPSs, not have line interactives. Line interactives do not have a sine wave in power, but sort of a stepped sine wave, a simulated sine wave. So you don't get real clean power out. And there's another benefit from using online. It always runs over the batteries. So the batteries last longer, but also if there's a power cut, there's no delay before the batteries kick in.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to your system rack to restart your control system, for instance, that was messed up by the power loss.
Yeah.
Few milliseconds can do that.
And it's funny, this is one of the pains of the integrator that no integrator know that they have, because the number of times I've seen AV projects that were, I mean, they didn't have UPSs, so, and the end user had to go over and to restart the system all the time, because I mean, something that just breaks because the system restarted. So I mean, it's good because you're taking all the unloved equipment and making them loved, right?
Well, I mean, it's in some areas, people have just accepted that there is poor power.
Yeah.
And they live with the consequence, but it's totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
If you get the right equipment in the end, your entire rack of AV equipment will last longer.
Yeah.
And the performance will be much better. So you have a satisfied customer, and you don't need to send someone over in his car to resolve the issue because of the power cut.
It's cost.
It's all cost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're losing an employee for that moment.
correct.
So,
Yeah, and it's funny because I was speaking to a client yesterday, and he was telling exactly that, because this is something that we like to do. We really like the post sales, right? As you said, we don't like to make something and then having to go there over and over, but it happens, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to do a good job. But what we always do, what I talk with them is, I mean, you have to have good equipment and equipment that solve your problem, so you won't have your team going there in the rack and restarting the system over and over again. And I mean, those guys on IT, they are focused on AI right now. They're focused on their projects there.
Yeah.
And they do not want to be harassed with AV problems, because their CEO is in the room right now and they just call, I mean, oh, it's nothing working. And then he calls the IT director, that calls the IT manager, and so on. It's a cascading of people being called. And imagine the cost to have all those people worrying and also stopping to solve one problem for one room, because the CEO stopped because maybe he was in a room doing something, doing business with an important client. So the cost, I mean, probably extremely surpasses the cost that they have with this one UPS, right? Or the switch.
Imagine a company with 2 offices, and they have a monthly meeting with 2 teams together.
Yeah.
That is 10 people in one office, 10 people in the other office. They go to their meeting room, put on the video conferencing equipment, and then the integrator has saved $200 on the switch. The switch goes down. That means that it's not the frustration that it isn't working right now, but there's a real cost associated with it. Is 20 people that are not working for half an hour or an hour.
Yes,
Not
exactly.
being productive.
If you get their hourly wage and you multiply it, probably those 2,000 went
And
200, 2,000.
I think integrators can be more bold to their end customers.
Yeah.
That it's not always wise to try to shave off more money on a project.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, there can be a consequence to that as well.
Yeah. And I think this is the part of the education that we must do, right? Because to educate the integrator to be bold and also to explain the concepts. Because we know that some integrators are bold, but they are bold because they're bold. They just tell you need this. And the client usually, sometimes they're so firmly speaking about this that I agree with him. But many of them do not know how to explain why is it important for us to invest a little bit more, because the cost that we have later for 20 people stopping, and sometimes it's not just 20 regular people, it's the CEO, the board of directors, executives, many important people that have huge hourly wages. So I think people lack this knowledge and they need this knowledge.
We need to understand how to sell value and not to sell cost.
Yes, exactly.
That's the point.
Exactly.
And we know that in Brazil, it's very common that the client doesn't want to pay maintenance.
Yeah.
So when you send somebody over there, you are paying.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you don't do your job in the beginning, you are paying after.
Yeah.
So
and many companies here in Brazil, they're not big. They're like it's a guy from São Paulo, and he has made a project in Minas, Belo Horizonte. That's another state. And this project goes wrong for any reason. So he has to get this guy, his tech guy, to go all over there. I think 2-hour flight, 1-hour flight, which is costly, or get his car and a 10-hour drive to go there to try to solve. Sometimes he doesn't solve and then gets back to get a new equipment and go back. So the cost of this, if you had thought about it earlier.
And the headache.
Yeah.
The headache is the
the
worst.
headache.
You
Fine,
stop
right?
more than one person, because there is the operational guys, all the admin, the system. Everybody needs to. Always the owner of the company needs to check it, because sometimes it's something like $20.
Yeah.
And you have to check everything. So
That's
timing, money, and headache.
But you see in the industry, the largest integrators in the world are the largest integrators because they talk about customers based on design rules. They talk
Yeah.
about customers and say, well, if you want this project, then you also need to know that there is an annual maintenance involved.
Yeah.
It's like getting your car. If you don't maintain it, it will stop running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you can't blame the manufacturer of that car that you haven't
Sure.
maintained it.
In the past, nobody was buying insurance. Now then you have to buy, otherwise you have a problem.
But it's all over the world where that is still difficult, become a standard discussion that AV integrators have with their end customers.
Yeah. So guys, I mean, it's so nice to speak to you. I just want to ask one question for each of you. I always like for you guys to speak to the audience here. So what would be one thing that you'd recommend for any integrator that is watching us today? You are for the many integrators that fear the IP world, and for you, so the many integrators that do not know what to buy, how to buy. So I would like to know, what is the recommendation for them?
So in very general terms is take the time, invest in your own education. And most manufacturers like us and most distributors are offering all sorts of possibilities to get to know products, to learn how to use them and to optimize them. It is so essential with technology that goes on that you stay on top of that, learn from that, and become much more effective in your business. And I know all the integrators, they are always busy, always have to fix stuff, have to talk with customers, and it's everything of that is important. But you need to block time in your diary to educate yourself and go to the next level. It's not a one-off, it's a continuous flow.
Yeah, it's a great advice.
Yeah. And the hook, that's again the hook, call ZRS. We are doing something that nobody was doing before. We are developing the CTI for the training, to train you, to train all your people. So invest time and money in that. So maybe sometimes it's better to not go to that project, go to the training, because this training can bring you more than one project. That's the advice.
Perfect. Bom, pessoal, acho que é isso. Para quem quiser conhecer um pouquinho mais sobre a NIVEO, a gente vai botar aqui embaixo do vídeo algumas informações. A gente vai colocar os contatos do Arthur, os contatos do Saldanha, também para vocês falarem com as RS. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Se gostaram, comentem aqui embaixo, falem um pouquinho, deem os feedbacks para a gente continuar fazendo um conteúdo muito legal para vocês. Muito obrigado e até a próxima. Tchau, tchau.